And we're back. So, what I was saying was that Joe is simply not in a good mental state to be trying to take on one of the most challenging jobs in our nation. And I know that many liberal fuckers who could be listening here may say, but Donald is... Well, guess what? Donald isn't the issue here. The issue is Joe. Donald, after next year, will have done his 2 4-year terms. And then he won't be able to be president again. And, you know, maybe that's for the best. You know, I didn't personally love Donald all that much. I just know that anything that the Democrats would suggest would be almost infinitely worse. You know, that's all I know. Anything they would suggest would be worse for everyone involved. So, that out of the way, let's start talking about Joe. Joe Biden, he's not a bad guy. If he was running for the Republican ticket, I would have voted for him. But here's the problem. Joe is... He's going. He's going. I don't know where the hell he's going, but he's going. He makes these little gaffes where he just goes off on a nonsensical tangent, and sometimes he completely forgets where he is. He says things that don't make any sense. He tries to make appeals to the common people. Like that whole ludicrous story about him whipping out a switchblade at some guy named Corn Pop. What kind of a tough guy names themselves Corn Pop? That other time he says he got hauled in by the long arm of the law. No, Joe didn't. He's having an episode, basically. Every time a reporter has managed to corner him right outside of the range of his handlers, they have exposed the true Joe Biden. The Joe Biden that we know is mentally falling apart. And every time that happens, it lowers the collective dignity of our nation when that happens. It really does. Because it shows everyone who can see that the Democrats are that willing to do anything in their power to defeat Donald. They want to do anything in their power to defeat Donald so that they can push socialist policies. Even to the point of sending the senile Joe Biden out there to fight. You all know Donald is ruthless. He's a businessman. You have to be ruthless in business. And that's something he's certainly capable of being. He's going to wipe the floor with Joe if they ever manage to get a debate. And I don't feel it's right for them to be sending Joe out there. I mean, the guy's basically an octogenarian. He's losing his touch with reality. At some point, you must ask yourself if this entire thing is even moral to do. If I were technically president, I would say, look, Democrats, could you pick somebody else? I mean, we know you're going to lose either way, but the question here is Joe going to be all right? Because if there's one thing that nobody wants, it's for Kamala Harris to be president. She is hated on the left, and she is hated by the left moderates. She is hated by the far right. She is hated by the right moderates. And, you know, the reason that Joe picked her was not because she was well-liked or because she was qualified or anything like that. His aides just stepped up and told him to pick an African-American woman. Now, picking an African-American woman to run with you isn't a bad thing. I'm sure that there are plenty of African-American women very, very qualified for the role of vice president. In truth, the only real job they would have in that case is to break a tie in the Senate, or maybe it was the House of Representatives, I forgot. No, wait, no, that duty goes to the Speaker of the House, so yes, it would have to be the Senate. So, anyway, I mean, there are plenty of African-American women in who would love to be in that position. But Kamala Harris is a hypocrite, first off. Let's get that out the way. We know she's a hypocrite. I mean, she said... She said that she believed all women. That's what she told us. That's what she said. She said to believe all women. That the women are not lying. Even though we know for a fact a great many of them were and still are lying about false rape accusations. So, what does that mean about Tara Reid? Because if you get to brush aside the notion that, oh, well, obviously this allegation is, you know, based entirely around politics and has no real basis for truth, then why is it that we still have to deal with it? When you Democrats pull something incredibly stupid out of your ass and say, oh, look, he sexually assaulted somebody, you know, in the vaguest possible terms you can come up with. And we have to respect that, then guess what? When we pull out some horse shit like that, you really don't have any room to talk. Because if you say anything, you know, we get to turn it right back around at you and say, oh yeah? Then why have you been doing it? You know? Now, if a man actually does lay hands upon a woman, and she does not consent, well, that's a different discussion. But the issue here is not that a man lays hands upon a woman. It's that a man lays hands upon is that when a man does not lay hands upon a woman, and the woman says he did. You see, that's where the problem is here. Because in recent years, the idea of sexual consent being one of the most important issues of our generation for women, it's true that, you know, being able to give consent and all that is important. But the problem here is the focus has been so much on the woman must absolutely give her consent to everything that's done in the bedroom. And I'm like, yeah, that's a given. So why is it that you keep saying it?
Calorie intake recommended.
Basically, what I'm saying here is, we already know that consent should be given. So why do you keep saying it as if we don't? And then after that, you know, there's the other issue here. Tara Reid, they've been saying that she's a moderate. She is not. By literally every sense of the word. Tara Reid is... sorry, did I just say... Sorry. There I was talking about Joe Biden having senior moments a little too often, and then all of a sudden, boop, I have one. No, I'm not having a senior moment. Really, what I'm saying here is that Kamala Harris has been called a moderate, a political moderate. Well, the issue here is that she isn't a political moderate. We know very well that she is not a political moderate simply because of the policies that she has pushed. A moderate would not be pushing the policies that she is pushing. I forgot why the hell I was out here looking around for shit. Maybe I needed some ore. Let me take a look here. Oh yeah, I think I know what I was doing. Let us go to the crash site, which should be... over in this direction. So what we're going to do instead of... Oh right, I remember what we were doing. We were looking for cave sulfur. Yeah, I'm looking for a cave entrance down here so I can locate a crash fish. Yeah, because crash fish are the only source of cave sulfur. I talked to Charlie about this. And I know we were out of cave sulfur back at the pod. So I have to find a crash fish. You know what? I'll return to our recording just as soon as we are able to find a crash fish. So until then, I'll see you all next time.